Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
That breaking news takes us to this scene, a Durham shooting. Police responding to a scene on the Durham freeway this morning. What we know after a man was sent to the hospital.
Plus, US 70 crash. 2 people were seriously injured in Garner this morning. What we know this morning from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
And once again, we're going to be dealing with some rain. I'll show you what time it rolls in and who could see some patchy fog and some drizzle this morning.
And prison release. The person who falsely accused Duke lacrosse players of rape is finishing her sentence on a murder conviction. What we can expect ahead of her release this morning. A lot of updates to get to here on your Friday morning, and we're going to get you caught up here. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Chris Loving. The first update we want to talk about that fog that we're seeing here from this camera in downtown Cary Park. The thing is, though, it's not going to stay around, for the entire morning. We have meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner who's tracking that, plus the next weather maker.
All that rain that we saw yesterday is still a lot of that moisture is lingering in the atmosphere. So that's why we have the foggy conditions across the area this morning. No real rain showing up, but there's a lot of drizzle with that fog. The particles of drizzle are a lot smaller than a raindrop, and so the radar is not really calibrated to see that. But what we will see is an increasing chance of rain. The rain that's in South Carolina moves all the way back into the triangle around 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. It moves out by the morning commute, and I'll walk you through Futurecast because not everybody will see it. In North Hills this morning, we are socked in with some low cloud cover, some fog, some drizzle. 48 degrees is the temperature, so it's on the chilly and damp side when you head out the door. We'll be in the 50-degree range at lunchtime, but only in the mid-50s with lots of cloud cover today. We are still on track for a nice, mild weekend with plenty of sunshine. I'll let you know when the sun finally peeks out again. Kirsten?
Good morning and happy Friday. We're in the WRAL Traffic Center keeping a look at all of your main roadways here. Everything looking clear right now, including the northern and southern loops of the Beltline this morning. But I want to draw your attention to Durham, where we've been all morning. We've had WRAL's Kelsey Coffey and photojournalist Charles Bradley there, keeping an eye on a shooting investigation happening there. Those roads were closed off. But Kelsey, just about 15 minutes ago, that area has been completely clear at this time. Tell us what you're seeing.
Yes, Kirsten, it did clear about 15 minutes ago, so we'll be able to take you straight to video so you can see this active scene where police say a man was shot here on the highway, here on NC 147. Police had closed NC 147 near Austin Avenue for a while, but again, now that has been open. Police say that a person shot at a vehicle. That man who was shot is now in the hospital, and we're working to get an update on his injuries. And we're also asking police for an update on the search for that shooter. In the meantime, Kirsten, what can you tell folks before they head out the door for their morning drive?
Yeah, Kelsey, thank you for keeping us updated there. Turn our attention now to Raleigh and keeping an eye on I-40, just looking at your delays and drive times this morning. Again, at this time, everything clear, not really any delays to worry about. As you're heading out the door, stay tuned with us on the radio on 101.5 HD3.
So in the last hour, we have learned 2 people are seriously hurt after being hit by a pickup truck in Garner. And that crash shut down the eastbound lanes from Mechanical Boulevard to McCormick Street for hours. WRAL's Ali Calabar explains the latest in the early stages of this investigation.
And we now know from Garner Police that that driver is not facing any charges at this time. We do want to show you this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see the damage to the front end of that truck. We now know that that truck hit 2 people. They were taken to the hospital, seriously hurt. We also saw what appeared to be clothes or debris on the road. Garner Police say they responded to this crash just after midnight. You can also see in this video that it is very foggy. We are working to find out if those foggy conditions had anything to do with this crash. We're also working to find out the identities of the people involved and the injuries they're facing. Now we are keeping you updated. Reporting in Garner, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
And this morning, we are also trying to learn new information about 2 separate crashes in Raleigh that left someone seriously injured. So the first one involved a pedestrian. You're looking at video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker near Poole and Sunnybrook Roads. There is still no word on the person's condition or if any arrests have been made.
A cyclist who was seriously injured on Leadmine and Lind Roads. This is something we're looking into as well regarding a crash. And this picture was sent to us via reported around 9:30 last night. Police say the cyclist was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and we're trying to figure out what led up to this crash and how that cyclist is recovering this morning.
Happening today, the woman who falsely accused 3 Duke University lacrosse players of rape will be released from prison. Of course, we're talking about Crystal Mangum here, who has spent more than a decade behind bars after she was convicted in 2013 of killing her boyfriend, Reginald Day. But it was Mangum's role as the Duke lacrosse accuser that grabbed national headlines 20 years ago. After the defense team exposed holes in her story, Roy Cooper, who was the state's attorney general at the time, dropped the charges against the players. And the Durham district attorney at the time was also removed from office for his handling of the case. Now, Mangum is expected to be released from the North Carolina Correctional Institute for Women in Raleigh later this morning. We will be there, so you can look for updates on WRAL.com, Facebook, and on our news at noon.
We're learning more about a Garner road rage murder that led to a shootout with Raleigh police last week. And the shootout happened at an apartment on Woodbine Drive when officers were trying to take a suspect into custody. A new police report says the suspect on your screen, Solomon Owens, fired 10 shots at officers with an AR-style pistol. 2 officers were hit in their ballistic gear, but they are both okay. An officer fired 2 shots in return. And a criminal complaint says Owens left the apartment hiding behind a woman who had a baby in her arms. That's when officers fired a non-lethal round at Owens and then took him into custody. We spoke with an attorney about how this report tells the story of what happened that night.
What stands out to you about this report?
That makes it a lot clearer as to the methodology that the Raleigh police used in taking him and getting him into custody.
Raleigh police were there to serve a warrant in a Garner murder from earlier this month. And Owens is accused of shooting and killing Joey Adams in what authorities say was a case of road rage. Owens is also facing a federal charge for possession of a gun by a felon.
A 16-year-old is being held without bond, accused of murdering his 12-year-old sister. Jackson Borrello is being held without bond. Fuquay-Varina Middle School this week sent a message to families alerting them about the death of 12-year-old Clara Borrello. Court records show Borrello has 2 siblings, Clara and Joseph. Jackson Borrello is also accused of stabbing a 9-year-old boy at the same home in that neighborhood near Fuquay-Varina. We are working to learn if that was his brother. There's no word on his condition, but we are told the wounds are serious. A motive is not clear. 2 brothers are accused of trying to bring more than 200 pounds of marijuana through RDU. Christopher and Alexis Ardono are also charged with trafficking marijuana. This happened back in January during an operation targeting incoming flights. Investigators say K-9s searched their luggage, and Alexis Ardono was carrying more than 120 pounds of marijuana. His bond was set at $1 million. They say Christopher was carrying nearly 70 pounds, and he posted his $250,000 bond.
Laura, we want to go to some breaking news right now as a car crashed into a pole, and this took out power for people in Raleigh. One lane is closed on Tryon Road near Lake Dam Road, and that's where WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is live at that scene. Ali, there are about, what, a half dozen Duke Energy crews there right now?
Yeah, about 7 crews that we're seeing right now, and we are seeing at least 3 of them are up working on that utility pole. That's where a Duke Energy crew employee, he just told me that a car crashed into that pole right there. He says that there weren't any serious injuries. Now, we are working to confirm that with police. We are seeing that they are blocking one lane here on Tryon Road, and there are 160 customers without power. But this is the main concern, is that this light is out. So we are seeing Raleigh Police Department. They are monitoring for any traffic, but Duke Energy crews say that they're going to be out here till around 8:30, so it could impact your morning commute if you're headed this way. The light out on Gorman Street is working, but the other ones, we're seeing some issues there. So we are staying on top of this, keeping you updated. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Today, former President Bill Clinton is expected to speak with lawmakers about Jeffrey Epstein. And just the other day, his wife Hillary told them she had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes. After yesterday's meeting, Hillary spoke with reporters, and she said she had to, quote, answer questions repetitively and literally over and over again, end quote. Clinton also made it clear that she did not know Epstein.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times.
This will be the first time a former president has ever testified before Congress.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center as tensions continue to rise between Iran and the U.S. We're getting word this morning that the U.S. is allowing non-emergency personnel from the embassy there in Israel to leave. This is a video of diplomats arriving for those ongoing talks over the Iran's military or nuclear program. The State Department did not elaborate on what those safety risks are, but the U.S. has built up one of the biggest military deployments in the Middle East as these negotiations continue over Iran's nuclear program. This is a story that we will continue to follow here in the WRAL Live Center.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Savannah Guthrie intends to return to work on the Today Show at some point. That's according to sources close to the network. The timeline for her return is still unclear as the nearly month-long search for her mother, Nancy, continues. The 84-year-old was reported missing on February 1st. No suspects have been arrested. Earlier this week, Savannah Guthrie announced a $1 million reward for information leading to her mother's recovery.
Your time is 6:10 this morning. Data center debate. They are dominating the conversation around energy bills, and now there might be a better way to meet demand. The study that could slow down the data center boom.
And laughs at the DPAC. Seth Meyers will be in the Triangle this weekend. We'll talk about that and other fun events in Out and About.
And all that rain from yesterday has left some moisture in the atmosphere, and as we're cooling it down, we do have a lot of low cloud cover and some fog to deal with, as well as drizzle this morning. A better chance for rain closer to lunchtime. I'll let you know if you'll see it coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. We're going to start with dual Doppler 5000 radar because we're starting to see a little bit of light rain just to the south. So Fayetteville and Clinton, you're going to start to see some of this rain along with Hoke County probably in the next hour to 2 hours. Our front that brought the rain yesterday is going to sneak back up into our area and bring us rain as far north as the Triangle by lunchtime. You can see all this rain along our stalled front down here in South Carolina. And that is what's going to lift northward across our area today. About a 40% chance mid to late morning through the early part of the afternoon. And then after that, it should push out of the Triangle by the time we get to the evening commute. Waking up this morning to a lot of fog out there, just a lot of moisture left over from yesterday's rain. A good bit of drizzle with this fog as well. And cool temperatures. It's a wide range from 39 in Roanoke Rapids to 56 in Fayetteville. Around the Triangle, temperatures are mostly in the mid to upper 40s right now. We take a look at our temperatures as we get through the afternoon. Still going to be chilly as the kids get off the bus this afternoon, mostly in the mid 50s. Kirsten?
Thank you, Elizabeth. It is 6:14. Eye on your traffic right now. We have a clear view, but I want to bring your attention to on Tryon Road near Ormond Street. That's where we have a live picture this morning. Adley Kadlabar is there to look at here. Like a power outage there. You can see some.
I think we're having some issues there with your microphone, Kirsten. Don't worry, we'll try to get that taken care of and come back to you in just a bit. A Columbia University student is back home this morning after being detained by ICE agents inside a campus residential building. This happened yesterday. Homeland Security confirmed it arrested Elmina Agayeva, a student from Azerbaijan. On social media, Agayeva said that she was later released and was on her way home. Homeland Security says that her student visa was terminated after failing to attend classes. And they also say officers were allowed into Ajayeva's apartment by the building manager and her roommate. In a statement, the university accused the federal agents of misrepresenting themselves and claimed to be looking for a missing person. A new Duke University report suggests there may be a smarter way to power the rapid growth of artificial intelligence that could lower costs. As AI drives more electricity demand, utilities are preparing for major upgrades to the grid. But the pressure builds during a handful of high demand hours each year. So instead of building more plants to cover those peaks, researchers say data centers could shift when they use power.
At any given time, there's plenty of unused power on the grid, unless we're at the very peak moment, which only happens a few times a year. And so if data centers could be more flexible, for example, shifting their large computing load times to periods of the day when other energy demands are low, shifting those computational needs to different parts of the country, they're also in their system, then perhaps we could avoid some of that build out.
Study estimates that kind of flexibility could avoid up to $150 billion in power plant and infrastructure costs over the next decade. Duke Energy says new data center contracts now include a provision that the facilities have to reduce power during peak demand if asked.
The Smithfield Town Council approved a new Sheetz convenience store and gas station. It'll be located on Highway 70 Business West next to the Amazon warehouse. Plans call for a large convenience store with drive-through service and 7 fuel pumps. This will be the second Sheetz in Smithfield. Construction will start soon after the final approval. Okay, so we have a lot of weekend fun events planned across the Triangle.
Let's talk all about it in today's WRAL Out and About Best Bets. So, we have a comedian and late night host, Seth Meyers. He's going to be in Durham tonight. He will be live at the DPAC, and the show was originally scheduled for January 24th, but was then rescheduled because of, you remember all that severe weather we got. Well, all previous tickets will be honored, and a few are still available. That show starts at 7 p.m.
And this weekend is shaping up to be a good one for horror and sci-fi fans. The Nevermore Film Festival gets started tonight at the Carolina Theater in Durham. The theater will be showcasing brand new feature-length and short films from around the world, and awards will be handed out to the best ones. A list of showtimes is available on the theater's website. The festival runs through Sunday. Also happening tomorrow, the Black Genius Fest will be in Durham. Now, this festival will celebrate 100 years of Black History Month. It is free to attend and family-friendly. That will be happening on Black Wall Street from 11 to 5 p.m. For more weekend best bets, you can go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
I tell you what, driving in today, significantly less rain on my windshield, though I did run into some as I was coming in.
Absolutely. And I think we got the rain out of the way just in time for this weekend, Elizabeth.
Not quite. We still have more today.
There's more, Laura. There's a lot more.
It was a little bit drizzly coming in this morning. We have the front that brought us all that rain yesterday is actually sitting to our south right now. That's going to lift back northward across our area, all the way up to, say, Raleigh and Durham, and then back down pretty quickly. So you can see all this rain that's happening in South Carolina currently. So we're going to see it bumping back to the north right around, let's say, late morning into the early part of the afternoon. We did get a good soaking yesterday, which was lovely to see, anywhere from a half an inch in some of our southern counties to well over an inch across parts of the central counties. Let's zoom in, as a matter of fact, and about an inch and a half for a good bit of Wake County. And there were some pockets there, the little purple pockets there, as much as an inch and 3/4. So good looking rain out there. Sanford was about 8/10 of an inch, Rocky Mount about 3/4 of an inch, along with Goldsboro. So we needed that rain. Officially at RDU, which is where we keep all the numbers, we had about 1.1 inches of rain in that last storm, and we need around 7 inches to get out of the drought. So we need multiple days of 1 inch of rain. And we'll likely see some at the beginning of next week, but it may not be as heavy as what we just saw. Drought monitor, of course, still severe. We also have a pocket from Rocky Mount to Roanoke Rapids where it's extreme. It takes a long time to get into a drought, and it takes a long time to get out of a drought. We are starting to see a little bit of patchy rain down near the South Carolina line. So Fayetteville, most of Sampson County and Hoke County will be the first to see the rain starting to shift northward this morning. By right around lunchtime, 11 o'clock, we're going to see rain from Raleigh to Rocky Mount and back down to Southern Pines, everybody east. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it starts to pull out. But we'll probably end up hanging on to the clouds for the rest of the day today, tonight, and first thing Saturday. By Saturday afternoon, we should see some sunshine. And boy, it's going to be a really nice one. This high pressure system builds in and brings us temperatures in the 70s by the time we get to Sunday. So it's going to be wonderful. After that, though, we do have the potential for some rain. Temperatures will be pretty chilly on Tuesday morning, but right now we're not looking at a great chance for wintry precipitation. Kirsten?
Thank you, Elizabeth. We've got weather and traffic updates every 10 minutes. We're keeping a look at your major roadways this morning. Everything looking clear at this point. We are keeping an eye on an area on Tryon Road. This is at Gorman Street, where there seems to be some lights out, traffic lights. There are electric crews there monitoring that area now. There's that live picture there. You can see those crews there working on those power lines and those lights. Ali Kadlabar and photojournalist Michael Joyner are at the scene monitoring that, so we'll be sure to get back to them with more updates later. Just taking a quick look at your delays right now. Really nothing to be worried about at this time on I-40. Stay tuned to us here as well as on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Kirsten, thank you. Searching for a suspect. Deputies are now looking for the person responsible for a high-speed chase that spanned multiple counties. What we know about this investigation so far.
Plus the push for vaccinations. The latest message from state health leaders as North Carolina is seeing an increase in measles cases.
And if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather, please report it to us. You can go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tips to our news team. We'll be right back.
State health leaders have been reaching out to the public about the needs for measles education and prevention, too. The Department of Health and Human Services hosted an online fireside chat about this last night. Essentially, it was an opportunity for people across the state to get questions answered about the disease and the vaccine, too. People submitted their questions on social media and also by phone to get them answered.
What about the symptoms in adults? Are they the same symptoms? Does that carry over to adults? And can this potential disease be fatal?
Measles can look different in adults, but similar symptoms that we talked about. I think we also talked about some of the things that can happen as a complication of measles, and rarely death can occur from measles.
Parents are encouraged to get their children vaccinated on time, and adults should also get the vaccination, they say, if they have never received it, especially when they're children.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
All right, let's get into it. Heated Rivalry Season 2 is in the works, and Pokemon's big birthday today.
All right, let's talk about it and what's trending this morning.
Yeah, so Heated Rivalry fans can start the clock on Season 2 of the hit series. The show creator says filming for the romantic hockey drama will start this summer. It is expected to premiere on April of 2027 on HBO Max.
And it looks like Connor Story will be hosting SNL tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you can watch that on WRAL at 11:35 p.m.
Pretty exciting.
All right, now, the more important story. Pokemon is celebrating its 30th birthday today. This is a popular franchise that launched back in 1996, which my parents did not let me play, but I still did behind their back. Over the last 3 decades, there have been some pretty important shows and mobile games and valuable trading cards. And actually, just this month, wrestler and YouTuber Jake Paul sold a Pokemon card valued at $16.5 million.
People are making bank off of those Pokemon
your man's
cards.
like Pokemon too, doesn't he?
Yes, he has 2 binders full of Pokemon cards that he likes to trade, sell. I mean, it's a whole community, as you know, of Pokemon card lovers. So
we've learned during the break, Laura at least knows Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Which is good.
Yay.
All right, so your time this morning is 6:26. We're talking about some breaking news we've been following on US 70. There was a crash there, and it was pretty significant. And down power lines as you're looking live here from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker on Tryon Road in Raleigh. What we know about the efforts to get electricity restored.
And prison release. The person who falsely accused Duke lacrosse players of rape is finishing her sentence on a murder conviction. What we can expect ahead of her release this morning. Elizabeth.
And we're seeing some fog in places. This is a live look at Wilson, and you can see pretty socked in there. You'll also find some drizzle with that fog and some rain a little later in the morning. I'll let you know if you'll see it coming up.